Passive pitfalls. Mastering the use of passive voice in English. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our English language learning series. In today's video, we'll be diving into a very important topic that often trips up learners, the overuse of passive voice. And more importantly, we're going to learn how to help each other improve through peer review and feedback. So, let's get started. We've all learned about the passive voice, where the subject receives the action. For instance, the cake was eaten by John, instead of John ate the cake. However, it's essential to remember that passive voice can sometimes lead to unclear, indirect, and overly formal writing or speech. That's why we need to ensure we're not overusing it. Here's where learners often get confused. Overusing the passive voice can cause three main issues. 1. Loss of clarity. When the actor of the action is obscured, it can confuse the reader or listener about who is responsible for the action. 2. Lack of conciseness. Passive sentences are usually longer and wordier than their active counterparts. 3. Excessive formality. While the passive voice can be useful in formal writing, overuse can make your speech or text sound overly stiff and formal. Remember, our aim is not to eliminate passive voice but to use it wisely and appropriately. Now that we understand the potential pitfalls of overusing passive voice, let's talk about peer review. Reviewing each other's work can be incredibly beneficial to improve your use of the passive voice. Here are some steps for effective peer review. 1. Identify. Look for passive constructions in your peers' work. The telltale signs often include forms of be, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, and past participles. 2. Evaluate. Ask yourself if the use of passive voice adds value or creates ambiguity. Remember the pitfalls we discussed. 3. Provide constructive feedback. Share your observations with your peer. If you found an overuse of passive voice, suggest an active voice alternative. This process of review and feedback will not only help your peers but also reinforce your understanding of the concept. Let's apply what we've learned. Try reviewing a piece of text, maybe an essay or a report. Apply the peer review steps we discussed. This practice will help you to better identify the overuse of passive voice and how to give useful feedback. Remember, the goal isn't to eradicate passive voice entirely, but to use it judiciously to make your communication clear, concise, and appropriately formal. And that's a wrap for today's session on avoiding the overuse of passive voice and how to use peer review to improve your English. Keep practicing, keep reviewing, and keep sharing feedback. Remember, mastering a language is a team effort. We hope this video has been helpful, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy learning!